Hi guys and welcome to Thruzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What you're looking at is the Toyota Innova Hi-Cross after a long time on our channel because we showcased you the car at launch. We are here telling you about our impressions, our opinions of after driving it. What we're driving today, it looks like a base variant, but it's not. It is the second variant of the 2-liter petrol engine without the hybrid technology. So this is the GX variant. So that is the reason why it looks a little less blingy than the Innova Hi-Cross hybrid version that we know. And let's quickly jump into the styling, where you can see this very nice honeycomb grille which looks really nice, very unique. And you've got these it's better here, pilot lamps which are normal halogens, but these lights here are LEDs. So this is how the normal 2-liter petrol variant is going to look like. Still looks like a very handsome vehicle. Indeed, the design is quite right. You've got a lot of lines, sculpting and everything working in its favor really well. And it's got no parking sensors at the front. And it continues to be the Hi-Cross in the GX avatar. The alloy wheels are pretty similar to the older Innovas that we've seen in the past. The side profile is actually brilliant. You get a lot of height, a lot of glass, lot of door, so the metal to glass ratio is bigger and much better than you expect it to be. The alloy wheels of course are 16-inch wheels, so they look kind of small on this car. You've got these grab handles on it, and got these lovely tail lamps on offer which look brilliant in the day and in the night. The rear design is also coming along really well. I really like what's happening here. It looks quite good. The Hi-Cross badging is here, and as you can see, the hybrid badge is missing here. Since we are at the back, let's get inside the boot to see. There is a lot of space here for a lot of luggage, which I recently carried as well. That is the knob for lowering the spare wheel down, and these are of course the seats for the third row. And this is how you just simply flip them and simply pull them back. So that's really nice. There's still a good amount of space, and this is the big highlight for the Hi-Cross, of course. You can't forget that. And the other bigger highlight here, of course, are these seats. These seats do not have a grab handle here. It's all covered in plastic. You will have to use this lever to push this ahead, and you can use this lever to also push it ahead like this. Of course, doing it with one hand is going to be a bit of a issue for me, but just see, I can keep my feet here, get inside respectively well, and even if I sit like this, it's not that bad. Of course, the knee room will be limited, but it's not that bad. It's not very entirely knees up, so this is quite good for short journeys for a person like me as well. So that is something that you don't hear often from me, because usually these seats are best for small adults and children, of course. You've got a 3-pointed seat belt for all 3 passengers at the back as well, and you've got a charging point, cup holder, AC, holder to keep anything like you there. The AC vents are on offer on here as well. They're on the top, so pretty good. And a great place to be in the third row as well. Let's just get out as respectively as possible, and just push the seats back using this lever to push it even more ahead, and just look at the amount of space. If you're not going to carry any passenger in the third row, you are in for a treat with that legroom and knee room on offer. Just look at this. This is unbelievably good. This is from 2 segments above, so pretty brilliant. You've got your AC vent controlled from here. The vents are of course on the roof. Charging points, me sitting like this, I have great good under thigh support, a cup can holder, an armrest which works quite well. There is a seat pocket here, huge door pad which is brilliant, and a seat that is quite wide as well. The glass area of course works really well in its favor, and you can recline the seat a bit as well from those levers, and then you are going to literally feel like a boss in the back seat of the Innova Hi-Cross. That is for sure. The acres of room, you don't get to say that very often, is on offer here. You've got this nice hook here. Of course, it's missing a lot of things from the top end variant, which the only other hybrid will get, but we're really impressed with what is on offer. The hybrid should be even better, but there will be some things that are not going to be that great on that as well. So stay tuned and stay subscribed. We'll let you know about it. And Height adjustable seats are still on offer. You get all 4 power windows which are one touch up and down, which is a great move to have on all variants. An 8-inch screen, an SOS button, fabric black seats, eco mode, electronic parking brake, auto hold, traction control, USB A and USB C port, a cup can holder here, an armrest with a lot of space inside it. A 12-volt socket means you can charge multiple items together. A large glove box which is not illuminated or chilled. The AC works really well. There is no cruise control on offer as well, surprisingly. You only get a reversing camera, which is of a decent quality, not that great. You don't get parking sensors at the front or at the back. Simple stocks, no automatic wipers or lights as well. The MID is very detailed and slightly difficult to operate. You'll have to go inside a lot of things to go through the settings. Apart from that, everything can be controlled from here itself via this button here also. So not that bad, but if you have to jump inside a lot of things, you will have to be a little bit fidgety with these things. The back button, the arrow button. You've got 4 speakers. The sound system is good enough for a sort of base variant on the car, and quality is a step up from before. Still not the very best. We'll have to reserve our judgment for the hybrid version that comes and will tell us what has actually Toyota done on the top end variant, and in the real light we'll see and feel how it ends up being like. Similar door pads at the front as well, height adjustable seats, and slightly above basic experience in the second variant or the top variant of the 2-liter petrol engine without the hybrid motor. And not that bad in fact, and it is actually pleasant in many ways, which is including the driving part. How pleasant it is, how good it is, let's find out. Drive review of the Toyota Innova Hi-Cross with a petrol engine mated to a CVT that is not a hybrid. So Toyota India is actually handing out a normal petrol engine variant as well for us to test, which is brilliant. But like I told you in the walk around, this is a entry level variant, and so is the engine. How is it like to drive? Well, it is a typical Toyota, and this is our first impression of the new Hi-Cross as well. So what I can clearly tell you, this is going to be another benchmark in this segment yet again, with the monocoque chassis that I've been personally waiting for a very long time. How is Toyota going to manage it? And they've managed it as always very brilliantly. They have all the technological expertise to do so, and they've exceeded my expectations, because I'll quickly come to the ride and handling part, because the ride quality is absolutely brilliant. It just gobbles up everything you throw at it, and we've double checked the tire pressures on this, and it is absolutely brilliant in the way it performs. There is no denying the ride quality is excellent. But at the same time, as the speeds go a little higher, as the roads get slightly the camber is off on certain roads, it sort of jiggles around a bit. The vertical movement is still there, so it is as it was in the Innova Crysta, but for some because of the monocoque chassis, the feel is very different, and it doesn't feel very thumpy. It feels like a normal car or a normal MPV, which is much bigger in size, and it is handling it just feels better because it is lighter. It is almost, if you compare it to the Crysta, it is easily 300 or 400 kilos lighter. So that gives you a different perspective altogether in when it comes to ride quality. And overall, it's going to be a very comfortable car to drive. The steering wheel also deserves, the steering action also deserves a special mention, because the return is very smooth, very quick. The feedback is actually quite good. It is light. It gets heavier on the highway as well, quite well. Overall, it's a really good steering, despite the fact that it is artificial, yes. But city driving is very easy. This car is, the third big thing, is very easy to drive. The Innova Hi-Cross, that is very easy to drive. It feels light on its feet. It feels confident at the same time. It feels stable at the same time. And as you can see, bare minimum effort to do anything. So for a car that looks big, on the outside, looks big on the inside, the moment you start driving, everything shrinks around you really well. That is the big highlight of the car. The brakes are also quite good. Of course, could have been better. If you push harder, you will think that it needs better brakes and better tires. But then again, nobody does with the Innova. We've seen that over the decade, and this is just about fine. this is actually a really comfortable car. The seats are also quite big, very supportive. At the back it almost feels like a sofa, with the kind of legroom that is on offer, with the kind of under thigh support that is on offer. So that I told you in my walk around video, and we're really impressed with the comfort that is on offer for the passengers as well as the driver. The seats are actually quite good. Talking about the engine now, if you just there is just one thing I would want to say. It sort of summarizes my opinion on the Innova Hycross petrol here with the CVT, that if you wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me what this engine is, I'll clearly tell you this is a Toyota engine. It is a quintessential petrol Toyota engine that revs in a similar manner, sounds like a similar manner, behaves in a similar manner that we've been used to. Good low end torque, good mid range, and the top end comes if you start extracting it. The CVT gearbox, let's talk about that right now. Of course it's a rubber band effect, but the step the step treatment is here, so that means that it feels like gear shifts are happening. This is not a infinite amount of rubber band effect. There is some gap, so it sort of makes you feel that this is a normal gearbox. Toyota's tried that really hard. They said that in another CVT gearbox as well, where they were explaining about it. This is very much seen in the new Hycross here as well. And that actually makes you feel like it's almost like a normal gearbox shifting gears. So that is a very nice thing to have. But the advantages of a CVT means that you have a very good gearbox that is very fuel makes the car very fuel efficient. CVTs are brilliant for city driving. You get a lot of mileage out of them, fuel efficiency out of them, and that is a really good thing to have. That is the reason why this car has been giving us we've been driving it over a long weekend where the city is actually quite empty in Mumbai. We saw, despite maintaining 70-80 which was possible in Bombay, we got 14 kilometers to the liter, which is brilliant. Otherwise the average is around 9.5 or something like that. 9.4, 9.5 is what my colleague tested in heavy traffic, and this is actually a great number. You can on a daily basis get 9 to 10. The lowest I think will be 8 in traffic with slight amount of accelerating and flooring. So pretty impressive in that aspect. And the fuel efficiency is great. It's very easy to drive. It is quite comfortable. There is this sense of joy of driving a Innova right now, because it finally feels like a normal car, because it's a monocoque chassis, and it's just so pleasant to drive. It's obviously not exciting but for some reason it feels very pleasing to drive. It just feels really nice. It feels like a family car, how it should be, and it is. The guys who are driving the hybrid version, they're also enjoying even more fuel efficiency. They will get more features on the top end variant, which obviously is in top demand. So the overall experience with the Innova, somehow, or this is Toyota's strengths anyway, traditional strengths, where they get the ride and handling right, they get everything right when it comes to powertrain aspect, they get everything right when it comes to the chassis part. So even if the interior is not that great, and the quality is not that great, it just feels right for some reason, because for a fact that the reliability also is very solid on any Toyota. So that further seals the deal and makes the Innova a very good car to live with, a very good car to buy. Is this the variant to buy? Only if you want a 7-seater to only roam around within your own city. I think that's where this engine and gearbox combination will work. Apart from that, if you plan to go far away, do road trips, do a lot of trips within intercity from one city to the other as well, I recommend you get the hybrid. This is only for people who are on a budget and want a 7-seater. This is a great option to have, clearly much better over the diesel Crista at least. For people who have very low run, this is a very good engine. The CVT gearbox makes a lot of sense, and we can't recommend enough to those guys. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our channel and social media for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.